Well, you wanted to talk about the starting rotation, and that is exactly what we are going to do tonight. Today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Booney, one name, all passion. And I've been riding with this squad for 4 decades. And let me tell you, the A's are not just some scrappy underdog anymore. We're the storm rolling in, from Ricky to the Bash Brothers, from the Big Three to the Vegas Blueprint. This franchise has always found a way to flip the script. And right now, these kids are turning MLB upside down, and the rest of the league can't stand it. Stick around. We are building a desert dynasty, and you do not want to be late to the party. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. So smash that subscribe button right now and join the ride. And if you are in Nevada, catch Locked On A's Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. on Silver State Sports and Entertainment, Digital Channel 5.2 and Cox Channel 77. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you will get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the app today. What is up, everybody? I miss doing these live shows, and I think I'm going to make it more of a consistent thing. You know, the recording deal and just posting it there, it just kind of lost its old, how do you say, spark? Today, we're taking a deep dive into one thing every fan in Vegas can't stop thinking about: what the starting rotation might look like when the A's open their new ballpark in 28. Who are the young arms developing in the farm right now? Which pitchers project to be frontline anchors? And what blueprint can the organization follow to build a staff that actually stacks chips in the desert? We break down who could realistically be on the mound and when the dynasty begins in Vegas, but that's not all. We zoom out and look at the big picture. Who are potential starting pitching free agents in 2028? Arms who might headline the market and give the A's a legitimate ace option, or that veteran presence they may need. How about the 2026 draft class? And how could that help the A's? The A's have a 57% chance. 57% chance of gaining a lottery pick, which is picks 1 through 6. And could the A's land the next Mulder, Zito, or Hudson with their upcoming draft slot? We'll look at the trends, names, and I got two pitchers. You know what I believe with regard to pitching and how the A's should grow them. You got to build from within. How are you guys doing, man? Miss you guys. Live. What's up, RD? We are live, bud. Can you believe that? I'm live. Salty. That'd be great if we had a little live logo. Booty was. I'm live. I'm here, bud. I see you, Salty. Much better, huh? A lot better live. The recording thing, it wasn't working for me, you know? Just not my deal. It's not my deal. Nice timing. Heck of a Niners game finished up. I saw that. That was a hell of a game. Gutsy call by the Rams there, huh? I'm sure they're covering on Locked On Niners. Think of San Diego paying all that money to get 3 games further than they sure did. And they sure gave up a few prospects, didn't they? Guys, 2028 starting rotation. There's some options. I have an idea of who I'm going already. I'm going to name 10 pitchers. I'm going to name 10 pitchers that I believe could be cornerstones. I'm going to rank them in my order as well. As far as what you would do with the starting rotation. Now, this is not necessarily by rank. I'm going to go righty, lefty, like most staffs would do. 1, I still believe Jack Perkins. Jack Perkins, I've said it before. I'm going to say it now again. Jack Perkins is going to be a future Cy Young Award winner. He reminds me straight up of Curt Schilling. When he was healthy, he has been dominant. The issue with Jack Perkins has been one thing: health. He was hurt last year when he got his opportunity. But when he was healthy in Midland, he helped them to the playoffs, to the championship game. He was dominant. He came into spring training, hurt. Finally, when he got his shot in Vegas, dominant. Got his shot in the pros, had some great outings, and got hurt again. Perkins needs to stay healthy. That's my number one guy. Salty, I sort of hate the new how random the wild card round is after 162. I keep going back and forth on that, Salty. It's like, okay, you got 162 games, but they extended the wildcat card format as well, right? So I agree with what you're saying. But okay, so when you play a 3 and a 6, like a division winner against a team, let's say like the Reds, I mean, I guess it works both ways. The longer the series is, it would actually go towards the favorite. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, what game I was watching last night, Salty? 2014, and watched the whole thing. Wild card, A's Royals. There's a lot of things about that game that you watch it again and you're like, oh my God, that happened. And then you remember the regular season. Oh my God. The A's, after the Cespedes trade, absolutely just went in the tank, man. Good point, RD. I think we officially win the Mason Miller trade. Hey, Mason Miller was dominant, right? But yes, when you sell out for a trade like that, you better be sure you win. That's the risky part of that. What's up, Battle Good call on Perkins. Yeah, I like Perkins. Kid has to stay healthy, though. He has to stay healthy. And if he does, he's another Curt Schilling. He's that type of workhorse type guy. Number 2 in the rotation, I got Jamie Arnold. I think Jamie Arnold's just filthy. Jamie Arnold needs a third pitch, and my understanding is he's developing it, and that's a changeup. His fastball's lightning, has movement. Slider's wicked. He needs a third pitch. And the kid's a competitor. How Jamie Arnold dropped to number 11, I don't know. I tell you, I do a mock draft every single year of who the A's are going to draft, and usually I'm wrong. But in every possible draft mock I have, I'm somewhat close. I had the A's getting Kyson Witherspoon this year out of Oklahoma. Nowhere in any mock I had did I see Arnold dropping to 11. That was just nutty. I mean, if you really look at it, guys, the A's have themselves a number 1 pick in Arnold because a lot of projections had him going number 1 overall. DeVry's number 1. If he stayed in, if he didn't come the pro route, he would have been number 1 overall. What they've done with the draft's just amazing. Amazing. RD, agreed. It would piss San Diego for decades, I hope. However, I do like giving the top teams a bye and rewarding them. I do too as well. I still haven't gotten over that 2000. I tell you, Salty, you watch it a second time? Actually, this is the third time I watched it. I'm actually doing a crossover with the host of Locked On Royals tomorrow, and we're going through that game. You wouldn't believe some of the stuff that happened. Like, you remember the game, but you don't remember the game. There was little things that happened. Just nuts. Do you remember the pitch out in the 9th? Do you remember that? That was one play where I looked at him like, the Royals stole 6 out of 6 bases. Down 1 in the 9th. I think it was Dyson at first. And the A's guessed right. Remember, For those that don't know, back in 2014, they actually pitched out. They guessed right. Pitch out. And Norris dropped it. Just dropped the ball. Stole second. Tying run scored, etc. Whatever. Miller looked fantastic yesterday. Pulled him too soon. He pitched 2 innings yesterday, didn't they? Well, I mean, they won the game yesterday. I don't know. They got it done. Is Sears under contract for next year? Maybe he wanders back to get it. I don't want him. No, I don't think he's good enough. RD. We've kind of already gone the JP Sears thing. He's gotten more. You know, why would you want a starter, 4th, 5th starter who has an ERA close to 5? I think JP Sears is who he is. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want JP Sears back to be on. Thank you, Salty. The ballpark is too small, and that sweeper sometimes gets really hard. Really hard. No, thank you on Sears. Absolutely. Guys, what's even more exciting about 2028, and what's always exciting to talk about, is free agents. And that's what I want to talk to you about next. Free agents. Who is going to be possible free agents in 2028? I'll see you in a minute. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Every day we make decisions, but on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Playing Prize Picks is such fun. Simple way to add more excitement to football. You just pick more or less on player projections, like Josh Allen's passing yards, Saquon Barkley's rushing for a touchdown, and you're in the game. I love how quick it is. You can make your lineup in under a minute. My favorite part, Prize Picks just added stacks. So if I want to ride with the player, I can select their passing yards, rushing yards, and touchdowns all in one lineup. It's also fun to follow other players in the app and copy their lineups with one click. And the new injury reboot feature, if your player leaves early and doesn't return, it won't count against you. Download the Prize Pick app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, guys, 2028 free agents. I'm going to put J-Lo. Yeah, 100%. I didn't even actually go through my last other 3, did I? Here's who I have in the – I don't have him right now in their bag, and I debated having him or not. I got my third guy as – who do I have my third person as? Jeez, how am I forgetting this stuff already? Luis Morales. Thank you. That was easy. 3. So Perkins, Arnold, Morales, Gage Jump, 4, and Steven Echevarria, 5. Steven Echevarria is in high Lansing, 19 years old. The guy's going to be really, really good. Really, really, really good. That's who I got for 2028. I got J-Lo right there. Here's the deal, Bag. For right now, how it looks, I mean, J-Lo has to be considered as one of the top guys. You got to remember, though, Jacob Lopez is 27 years old. He's going to be 28 years old in spring training next year. 2028 Vegas shows up, he's 31. Now, not old by any stretch of the imagination. But right now, Lopez is making a living based on his delivery and his arm slot. He doesn't necessarily have that fastball in the mid-90s and that sort of thing. Hey, the kid's pitched 26 consecutive scoreless innings. If he can continue getting guys out at the end of the day, that's all that really counts. He's right there. As far as from 3 years from now, I don't know. And that's why I just left him off. Now, I'm going to show you guys an illustration. Okay? I want you to pick what guy you would want to sign. Because right now, here are your top 4 starting pitching free agents in 2028. You got Lopez from Minnesota. Joe Ryan from Minnesota. Shane McClanahan from Tampa Bay. And Logan Gilbert from Seattle. I don't know if we're going to get any of those guys considering how much money they would want, but it's nice to have an idea of who's going to be there. Those are the four guys: Lopez, Joe Ryan, McClanahan, Logan Gilbert. Now, the next free agents you're looking at as well as far as 2033, Zach Wheeler. Problem with Zach Wheeler, he's going to be 38. Jacob deGrom has a club option. The Rangers have a club option on him in 2028. Same with Tyler Glasnow with the Dodgers. He'll be 35. Nathan Eovaldi from the Rangers. He'll be 39. Sonny Gray. There's a name from the past. He'll be 39 as well. How about Luis Severino? Do we re-sign Severino on the cheap? I don't know, maybe. Pablo Lopez, who I just put up there, will be 33 years old. Sandy Alcantara, 33. How about old Jeffrey Springs? 36 years old. Joe Ryan, who I put up there, 32. Logan Gilbert, 31. McClanahan, 31. And Mackenzie Gore, 30. If you want to even look ahead one more year to 2029, notable free agents in that class are Logan Webb, George Kirby, Francisco Cabrera from Miami, Hunter Brown, David Weathers from Miami. I like him a lot. There's a guy sleeping under the radar. David Weathers. I like him a lot. And Cole Reagans will be 32. That's 2029. If you want to cheat and look up the free agents from going forward a little bit more. It's going to be tough, right? One thing that will get a lot of attention in the next couple of years is minor league pitching. There could possibly be a strike at the end of 2026. Actually, there's a very good chance there will be. It won't affect minor league players, and they're going to be getting a lot of attention then. I mean, shoot, I might get my Stockton Ports season tickets right now. Who knows? But what's up, Bag? Yes, sir, on Weathers. Yep, another one has to stay healthy, though. Yeah, he does. He's good, man. I mean, that pitching staff for Miami, whew, oh, my God. Weathers is another one that has to stay healthy. Good call. Off topic, who plays shortstop, Wilson or Vries in 28? It depends, right? One thing to consider right now, Salty, is DeVries is 18 years old, going to be 19 next year. How big is the kid going to grow? He's already a big kid right now. Secondly, Wilson's a good shortstop. The idea and thought and the stereotype he kind of gets as far as not being good defensively is simply false. He has been fantastic defensively this year. Sure, he's made a few errors here and there, absolutely. DeVries hasn't been good, but again, careless mistakes, has nothing to do with skill. We'll see. We'll see what our needs are. But when you have that shortstop position, you have that athleticism. DeVries could easily move to third, can easily move to second. Wilson could move to second, so forth. Who's making more plays? That is what it really comes down to, Salty. Who's making more plays? Who has more range? Who has a bigger arm? Who could save more runs? Is what's really, and that's not going to take a whole lot to figure out. But if I had to make a decision today, if they're both going for a spot, I would have to say Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson right now I'm talking about right now, is a better defensive shortstop than Leo DeVries right now. We'll see the future, 3 years. Joe Ryan, go big or go nothing at all, overpaying for Erod. All right, I like that. Jordan Tice with 5 ERAs. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Right now, I want to make sure that if we're going to sign somebody, they're better than who we have. I don't think Jordan Montgomery or Erod or any of those guys are better than who we have. And who do we have going next year? We have what? You're going to have Severino. Springs, they're going to get the first 2 spots because they're getting paid. The third spot right now, as far as performance and who our third best pitcher is going to be Jacob Lopez. Who I believe 4 and 5 will be, I think it's going to be Luis Morales and Jack Perkins, with Ginn and Brady Basso sitting in the 6th and 7th hole, maybe getting a shot or whatever. And if we have someone else possibly get up. Another name I want you to keep an eye on, Cole Miller. I didn't put him on the list for 2028, but he's right there as well. Cole Miller is in single A, I think 20 years old, 19 or 20 years old, and has been dealing this year. There's another one. Keep an eye on Cole Miller, another high school kid. That's the great thing about 2028. When these draft these high school kids like Stephen Echevarria, a couple years back, we're looking at 6 years. They're at 23, 24. Now they're hitting their prime. So keep an eye on, and that's the same thing with a guy like Cole Miller. I agree. Let's get Joe Ryan and pay him. Here's the deal. Here's the problem. I like that. When we're talking about pitchers like the ones I put on the list, Lopez, Ryan, McClanahan, and who was the fourth one I put on? Logan Gilbert. I think the best out of the 4, if I had to pick one, now you can go any route you want, is Logan Gilbert. But the teams you're competing for to sign those pitchers is the Dodgers. It's the Yankees. I mean, it's the biggest market teams. And again, yes, the A's will be in Vegas in a new stadium. Is that something that's going to attract a like of Ryan and Gilbert right off the bat? Or are they going to want to see and wait to see how it actually turns out? That's a good question as well. When I come back, I want to talk about 2026 draft picks. Could always try Leo at second base unless we are still trying on Geloff, and I'll tell you my feelings on Geloff and Leo at second base as well in just about 2 minutes here, guys. But that's the thing. Think about that as far as when do you think these free agent pitchers will really be attracted to Vegas? I don't know. We'll find out. I'll see you in a minute, guys. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Put down $5. And if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love how FanDuel gives me so many ways to play. I've built parlays, tried player props, and even followed the live lines during games. It makes watching football even more exciting when you've got a little something riding on the action. Whether you are a casual fan or love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen every day. For your second listen, find the all-night MLB Game Night. Every game, every night, until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB, on YouTube, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. All right, Geloff. Leo could try at second, and Jake could possibly try at second as well. Geloff. God, I want Geloff to be good so bad. Geloff, and I've said it many times on this show, is a gold glove caliber type of second baseman. He has power. He has the athleticism. He has speed. He has it all. But right now, he can't hit. And he needs to get better. He's hurt right now. He's fought injuries. He's fought swing changes. If he can get right, look out. That lineup takes a whole different level. Now you're talking about the future. If Geloff gets right, and he can consistently be the Geloff we saw in the second half of 2023, now you're talking about a set infield for years. Kurtz, Geloff, Wilson, DeVries. DeVries will go to third. Langoliers, just simple as that. If someone like if not someone like Joe Ryan, I'd rather go with Severino, Springs, Lopez, Morales, Perkins with jumps, and Arnold. Are you talking about next year or are you talking about 2028? I think Perkins needs to be, I don't know if you go, or you talking about now, Salty, or you're talking about 2028. I don't think Severino and Springs are even in the mix in 2028. I mean, maybe. I think Arnold will be ready to go. And I think Jump will be ready to go. I don't think they'll be coming up. We're talking 3 years down the road. If Arnold dominates next year in spring in low A, high A, I don't know where they're going to have Arnold start off at. But if he dominates, I mean, there's no reason to wait on these guys if they're that ready. They pick these guys and they're drafting these guys as juniors later in college. These aren't high school kids. Who's the clock running out first, Geloff or JJ? Tie. I think if I had to answer that, I think it's JJ, RD, just because you're a little bit more tolerant with Geloff because of what he can do defensively. He's elite defensively. Salty, I said it before, Geloff equals Jameel Weeks. Well, Jameel Weeks never had that stretch where he played like Geloff did in the 2023 second half. At least I can remember. Weeks was all hype, and Weeks wasn't as good as Geloff defensively. Trust me, I love Weeks. I was all over him. University of Miami, 12th pick overall. I thought he was going to be the next coming. Shows you what I know. 2026, yeah, for sure. Well, Ryan's not a free agent until 2028. I don't think we're going to sign any free agent pitchers next year at all. So, yes, what you're saying with regard to that, Ryan's not a free agent until 2028. And as far as what the free agents look like as far as pitchers for 2026, we won't sign the expensive ones because they're not coming to Sacramento, and the other ones are not good enough. They're terrible. I wouldn't mind Harris. What's up, Siphon? Harris, third, Wilson, short. Harris is similar to Geloff in a lot of ways, Siphon, in the sense of both elite defensively. Now, Harris is hitting a little bit much better than Geloff. Don't get me wrong. But still, the big thing with Harris is his bat. And when Harris started off last year in Vegas in AAA, he had better numbers than Kurtz. He was on fire. He crushed it. Then he got hurt his thumb, jammed it against the base. Kurtz got called up. I think Harris was out 2 months, came back, was good, wasn't as good as what he was. But Harris is older too, right? 27 years old. He needs to get going. I like keeping Wilson and Muncy up the middle. I love it. Yes, for sure. For right now, I mean, whoever has the hole, right? Wherever we have the hole, Salty. And I love Andahar as well. I would like to see Andahar back as well, playing third. Yes. Agree with you 100%. Everything you say right there. I like keeping Wilson and Muncy up the middle. I love to re-sign Andahar at third base until DeVries takes third base. Yep. Me too. I would love Andahar back. Harris, Muncy, Geloff, Hernandez will take Schumann's spot as that super utility guy, right? Guy who can play second, guy who can play short, guy who can play third. Harris, Muncy, Geloff, even Hernandez, one of them have to work for us. Hernandez, you know what you're getting. You're going to get tough at bats. You're going to get a guy who is athletic. You're going to get an average defensive glove. You're going to guy who's going to hustle everything out. Going to hit 240, 250. You know what you're going to get. Burke wrote an article on SI about trading for Joe Ryan. I don't want to trade anybody. Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't want to trade anybody. I've made this clear. I don't want to trade any prospects for pitching. You build pitching from within. Now, if you can sign a guy like Ryan, I don't think we're going to, I put him up there as far as the top free agent in 2028. I don't think we're going to get him. Ryan's going to be the type of contract at his age at that time. It's going to be like probably a $300-400 million contract over 6-7 years. I don't want him. I don't want to pay that much for pitching. I just don't. I think pitching is extremely important. But I've said it on many of occasions. When a position player gets hurt, they're out 4 to 6 weeks. When a pitcher gets hurt, they're out 2 years. And you sign someone like Joe Ryan, anybody, and they're out that amount of time, it kills you. It just kills the franchise. It kills teams like the A's. I don't want them. Harris is in for his defense like, yes, agree with you. Harris is in for his defense like Clark was in for his defense. Pete, what's up, buddy? How are you, buddy? Burke is a dreadful writer. Not the best. Not one of my favorite. But, yeah, Salty, I just don't want to trade for pitching. I mean, who do we have to give up, though, right? I mean, for a guy like Joe Ryan, you're looking at giving up, what, Jamie Arnold? Zane Taylor? Zane Taylor's another guy. Keep an eye on for him. Speaking of draft picks, 2 guys. So, guys, here's the deal. As far as the 2026 draft, we got about a 57% chance to land a lottery pick, which is top 6. And there's 2 pitchers that the 2026 draft looks like it's going to be shortstop heavy. A kid from UCLA, I believe, is projected to go number 1. There's 2 pitchers, right-handed pitchers that I want. Cameron Flukie from Coastal Carolina and Jackson Flora from UCSB. They both stand over 6'5" and armed with pitches that make data analysts drool. They are so darn good, man. Flukie's 6'6". Looked like he was designing a pitcher's lab. Long limbs, high release, and a fastball that explodes like it's being fired out of a cannon. Mid-90s heater. He's touched 98. Ridiculous command. Check this out. 75% strike rate. I mean, that's who I want. I want Cameron Flukie, Jackson Flora. Flora's from UCSB. Flukie is from Coastal Carolina. One of those guys, and they should be around. I don't care where they're around. I think one of them will go in the top 6 for sure, and then the other one may fall to like 10. But who knows? Cameron Flukie and Jackson Flora. That's who I want. Seeing the projection of the team in 2028, what do they need to be a serious World Series contender, not just a wild card or playoff contender? Great point. The last time we had a true World Series contender, and you tell me if I'm talking World Series contender, was the quote-unquote Moneyball years, right? You had 3 potential Cy Young Award winners. You had a MVP at short. You had a Gold Glover at third, and who could bang as well. And you had a bunch of other players. You had an all-star in right and die. Terrence Long was unbelievable on left. I think that was a true World Series contender. And we took a dynasty to the limit. But what was the identification of that team? The pitching. And what did we get out of that pitching? We got the number 9 overall pick from the University of Southern California in Barry Zito. the number 2 overall pick out of Michigan State, Mark Mulder. And we stole somebody in the 6th round who was the SEC Player of the Year out of Auburn, Tim Hudson. Now, does this sound familiar? Left-handed pitcher out of Florida State, number 11 overall, Jamie Arnold. Right-handed pitcher who slipped to the 5th round in Jack Perkins. The top international signing in Luis Morales. Any great organization needs their draft picks to develop. And I believe the A's have that going on. The hitting's there. We got your bashers like Kurtz, Wilson. Not a basher, but you know what I mean. DeVries. Right now, this team has the potential to be that World Series type, but that's all it is right now, Salty, is potential. But if I wouldn't change any move we've made to this point, we're following a blueprint that other World Series teams have had. Now, the only other World Series team that truly we had was what, 89? Yeah, and obviously that was, well, you had Ricky, who was drafted by the A's. Canseco was drafted by the A's. McGuire drafted by the A's. But the pitching was free agents, right? Eckersley was a free agent. Mike Moore was a free agent. Mike Moore is a free agent, was the former number 1 overall pick from Seattle. Bob Welsh was a free agent. Lansford was a free agent. Walt Weiss was a top 10 pick out of UNC. So I think we're doing the right things. I think we're doing the right things to be a World Series contender. So yes, I do think we're building to be a World Series contender. But the next step to that is like, hey, they need to play like the guys we drafted. That's kind of my point. I don't know who, but I definitely think they're trying to go in and make a splash in the free agent market coming into Vegas. I think it'll surprise A's fans. I tell you, here's the first key, Tershan, and they've talked about it. I've seen reports. But they need to extend Kurtz and Wilson this offseason. They need to buy out their arbitration years. We'll see how serious they are. I'd like to see them do the same thing with Soderstrom. Remember, the Bumgarner and D-backs are state. You know what I mean? You're absolutely right, Bill. I don't want free. How many? Hey, guys, can you name me, please? Because I can't think of them out of the top of my head. Free agents, big time, high paid free agents who are pitchers that have worked out. Please name them. I know Max Fried's been awesome, but please name me some big time free agents that have worked out. Garrett Crochet's one. Think of some big time free agent that people paid the world for that have worked out. I bet you there's a lot more Madison Bumgarners than there are Garrett Crochet's. I would trade Canvar to a different team for another one. Stop it. I know. I won't do that. I don't want to. I'll take Canvar over the 1-20 stretch, Salty. Just stop it with that. I want people who obviously really want to work. I do too. I think it's important. And it goes back to culture, right? Salty, it goes back to culture. You want people that are vested into the team, not just treating it like your job. And you see that come across the microphone with guys like Kruko and Kuiper. And again, I know they're Hall of Famers. Not fair to use them as an example, but I listen to a lot of broadcasts, and there's a lot of people that are vested across the mic that you can feel. I don't feel that with Canvar, nor Dallas either. The Padres went all out this year to lose in the wild card. Yeah, you're right. You're sure right. I didn't like what they did, man. I like the idea of trading prospects for proven major league pitchers, players, if you are chasing a World Series like the Padres did. I just feel the Padres could have easily kept DeVries, got rid of Net, Braden Net. Who was the other two? And the other two, I forget at the top of my head, prospects, and gotten someone like David Bednar. You know what I mean? They didn't need to give up DeVries for Mason Miller and the other prospects for Mason Miller. Yes. Do I think Mason Miller's the best out of the bunch? Sure. But David Bednar's pretty damn good too. And I would have liked to keep DeVries, give up the other prospects, and get someone like Bednar. Our bullpen was too average in 02. Other than Koch and Bradford, Venefro and Tam weren't good enough, and Messier had a down year. I'm talking about the 2000 year with Damon, Giambi, Isringhausen. Tejada was on that team too. Who else am I missing? Did I get that right? Bill, Eck was good call. Yeah, Eck was a trade from the Cubs. You know where I'm getting at, though. D-Stu, yeah, D-Stu was a free agent. But D-Stu wasn't. The A's got D-Stu from Texas, I believe. D-Stu wasn't like known as, some stud free agent on the market. Fried, yeah, I said Fried. I mean, we got to go more. I mean, for every Fried, there's a Snell, there's a Corbin Burns, there's a Chris Sale. Listen, I think pitching is extremely important. I think you can't win a World Series unless you have pitching. But I also believe that you have to build pitching from within. I think if you get a pitcher and you go out and sign the pitcher like a Madison Bumgarner contract, like a Corbin Burns type of contract, like a Chris Sale type of contract, and they go hurt and they have Tommy John, they're out 2 years, it kills them. I think the A's are doing the right thing. They're building from within. Going to the Coliseum and watching Stu, Welsh, Eck, Mac, Ricky, Jose as a young kid. Yeah. Salty, especially when the Coliseum was the Coliseum. Now Davis really just really messed up that yard, man. I mean, I swear, if Al Davis rose from his grave today, the freaking city of Oakland would roll out the red carpet. What can we do for you, Mr. Davis? What can we do? What money can we give you that we don't have? We'll figure it out. What can we do for you, Mr. Davis? Just absolutely nutty. I think Scherzer's contract with the Nats is probably the best and recent one I could think of. Yeah. Listen, there are guys that have worked out. I'm not saying there is not, but I want to stay draft heavy on pitchers. And if you look at what the A's got possibly coming up, it's impressive, man. It's impressive. Again, Steven Echevarria, Cole Miller, just to name a few. And Braden Ned I like a lot too. The kid we got in the DeVries trade. I like him as well. So I think we're doing the right thing with how we're treating our pitching. And remember, most dominant team we've had has been homegrown pitchers. The Giants, 2010, 2012, 2014. They're pitching dominated. Matt Cain, Lincecum, all from within, right? So that's my opinion. Bullpens are sketchy from year to year. That's why they are in the pen. Not good enough to start. Yeah, inconsistency too, right? You can't figure out the darn bullpen. You look at the A's this year, first 25 games, no one could get a hit off them. Then for a month, everybody got a hit off them. Then the last 2 months are the best in baseball. I don't know. if we got lucky, top 3 pick in the draft, do you have anyone that could help our team quickly? Like I'm going supposedly the top guy that is the top kid they got going out is a kid from UCLA, shortstop. Drew Burris from Georgia Tech, I like a lot. Outfielder, I think he could help. LSU has an outfielder I like a lot. But yeah, if we're not top 3, the guy if we had, let's say, that one of the top 2 picks, I would get Burris from Georgia Tech. I think Burris is pretty damn special. And as far as that immediate bat that can help immediately, he's the guy. He's going to be older. He's going to be a junior. And I like the kids. I like the college players that are already ready to roll, that are older. Above average defender, and he could freaking bang. Right-handed hitter. So I think he's he's a considerable upgrade than anything we have in the outfield. Because right now, guys, our outfield is okay. There's nothing about our outfield, and I'm like, wow, except for Soderstrom in left. I look at center, and I'm like, okay, Denzel's awesome defensively, but he can't hit. And then I look at right, and I don't trust Lawrence Butler. So there's nothing about our outfield that I'm like, wow. It's a bunch of maybes in center and in right. So if we can get Burris at 1 or 2, I'll take that. That's the only guy I would take over Fluky and Flora. As a kid, the ice plants past the... Yeah, man. It was the perfect bleacher setup, the Coliseum. It was the perfect bleacher setup. What do you think the outlook on Edwin Nunez? I think the ceiling on Nunez is going to be like a Tyler Ferguson. That's what I think of him. He's Tyler Ferguson. You know what I mean? He is who he is. He's not going to be dominant. He's not going to be great. You know, when he's pitching really, really well, he'll fit, and at his height, he'll step into the closer role if our closer's hurt here and there. But we're not getting anything past that. It's Tyler Ferguson. Don't forget about Medina. If he throws strikes, he could be a one. Yes. There's another good thing about there's another example about pitching, right? How long's Medina? The last start Luis Medina pitched, and I remember it because I was watching the game as it happened, and for some reason I remember it was in Boston, in July 2024. And we're going into spring training in 2026, and we don't know what his status is yet. Pitching. It's scary. But yes, he could be that guy. Now I'm feeling nostalgic. I'm going to watch the H-Shots from Game 4 after your live stream. Hey, man, they're fun to watch those old games, man. They're fun to watch those old games. Hey, like I said, last night I watched the Royals A's. And check it out, guys. Check out the crossover tomorrow. I'll post that. I'm doing it with the Royals guy. The host of Locked On Royals was at that 2014 game. So we're going to get both perspectives on that, what happened, what was expected, etc. I didn't realize at the time when we traded Cespedes for Lester, I loved it. I thought pitching won World Series and championships. I still believe that. But what I didn't account for that I'm so big on now is culture and togetherness. And Cespedes did bring that. The trade, the A's, after the A's made that trade, they were something like 15 games or something under 500. They barely snuck into the wild card. Before the trade, they were like 3 games up They were in first place, leading the West by 3 games. After the trade, they were 12 back. They stuck into that wild card spot. Al Michaels called that game. No, no, he wasn't on that. On the you're talking about the Giants? Okay, yeah, the Giants in 80. He did. The 2014 though was Ernie Johnson, Cal Ripken, and Ron Darling. I would say that's a step up from Canvar in Dallas. Rewatch of the final series in 2012, the Rangers clinched. Yeah, that whole second half tear shot of that season was special. Yeah, that was pretty cool, man. I mean, the rush they made in the second half of that year and how they won those games, man, that was great baseball. That was great baseball. But yeah, I missed the old Coliseum, man. I didn't care how old it was. Yeah, the old Coliseum was awesome. It really was. Hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks for cruising by. I'm going to do more live shows. I think I'm going to start trying to do a little bit more consistent Sunday through Thursday at 9 o'clock. And we'll hang out and have a good time, have some topics like the one we had tonight and talk about some old games. It was a good time. Thanks, fellas. Have a good night. And I will check out tomorrow, a couple things tomorrow. I went to 4 A's and Giants, sat in the right field, brought my green broom only to find out my brother threw the Giants. That's good. Crossover, Royals, A's, reliving 2014 tomorrow. That's a good one. I'm going to have a couple season ticket holders from Sutter Health on tomorrow. It'll probably post next week. Talk about, hey, are they going to renew it? Are they going to go back to Sutter Health, etc.? And then, hey, listen, guys, do me a favor. Check out the episode on cystic fibrosis with Jamie Arnold and what he's doing. There's so much information on that that's so darn valuable. Check it out. Just check. It's kind of hard to follow along, but check out it's about 15 minutes long, and the stuff's good. Good show, buddy. I appreciate that. Great seeing you, Big Mahomes. Take care, fellas. And as always, enjoyed you. And I'll catch you guys soon again on Locked On A's. Take care, guys.